Okay, it's fine. What was your wish?
Well, I've been on a hiatus, haven't I? There is a very good explanation for it, which may be divulged on the vlog at a certain point in time. We'll have to see. Yeah, we're finally back, and we're going to actually start uploading once again on the e-commerce, which may have something to do with the whole thing just coming to stop. So the main revenue source is no longer going to be, and that means that the direction of Avini is a bit more clouded because we're back to the ideas phase. Kind of the two main learnings I think I've found, or I've learned, is that you either really have to be passionate about your idea, you have to be quite skilled in your idea, mainly because you're inevitably going to be facing so many hurdles, right? And what are the ways you can overcome those hurdles? Either just being so excited about what you're doing, or just so skilled at what you're doing that those hurdles are nowhere near as time requirement or energy requirement as it would be if you weren't as skilled, or you're just so excited that the hurdles actually you somehow enjoy them. Obviously not in the moment, but a bit later on. But this doesn't mean I'm giving up. I'm still pursuing, possibly that's I'm not gonna lie, more in the bin, but more like different types of projects, more things that you can spin up MVPs quick in. There's one which is a price tracking tool where you can kind of get notified when a product hits a certain price, because you may want to purchase a product but the product just is a bit too high of a price. So, and when it reaches a certain price, you would maybe purchase that product. So if you could have a tool which notified you when that happened, that's what I'm basically trying to build. I'm building it with a crawling agent and LLMs and stuff like that, but I'll explain it more when I'm actually coding it and when it's on the blog. But yeah, these past kind of 2-3 weeks I've been more focusing actually on fitness, and mainly actually this week and the last week. Luckily, one of my mates who's still in Cambridge is able to book courts freely. I think you've seen him on the blog, actually, it's Jayon, but he's able to book courts freely, go to the gym and play some football. So the fitness has been really on the up, which is really, really nice and enjoyable. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the state my life is in right now. I do need to jump back onto the work bandwagon in a way. I've been halting too much on that. What I realise is my brain is quite bad at doing everything at once. Fitness is quite a hard task because I really want to become quite fit, and I'm in a place where I can say that, and I want to improve my body, my health, but I'm quite like a hyper-focused type of individual. So I was trying to do that and also do business, and I've kind of had an attempt at business now for almost 5 months, whatever it may be. Maybe not the best because of all the convolution and the different switches, but that's business. So now a fitness attempt may be a nice thing to develop, so that I can develop habits, and no matter what lifestyle I enter in my future years, I'll always want to do exercise because I'll feel weird without it. I think that's a position I want to be in a couple, definitely a year's time, but hopefully shorter than that. Yeah, what an interesting switch of events it's come to, but nicely enough, I'm actually travelling to Bristol today, and for up until the end of the week, I'll be there. So that's going to be a really nice event, which I'll keep you updated with. And it feels weird to not do work, it's like, okay, you've got to be pursuing something, and fitness is obviously a good goal, but when you're having too much fun all the time, it's like, okay, when's the hard bit going to come? And of course, I'm trying to get better about it, all these sorts of things, but those are different types of hard. I want that brain type of hard, and I'm going to keep that with work. But yeah, overall direction of Avini, I'm switching around topics, but overall direction of Avini, I think it's with the money we've made, probably go on a bit of travels in the latter part of this year, and then after that, hopefully apply startups with some of the projects that I will develop and build out now, so that I can really understand what a passionate founder's mind is like, and how they came up with the idea, how they really go about attacking the idea, like truly what a startup should feel like, instead of this more botched one. But I mean, who knows what a perfect startup looks like, but I would just like to learn and maybe go down the route of becoming a bit more of an expert in something and then pursuing the business strategy within that field. So attempted the kind of just go into business no matter what strategy, and it's a lot harder than than I originally thought, or I always knew it was hard. I just thought I could pursue it. It's just my my willpower just is lacking for that option, that's for sure. So let's figure out a different strategy that hopefully can more resonate with me. But as classic, I've maybe waffled a bit too much, but this is just the intro and just segueing why the hiatus happened. Last week was on the train towards Bristol. I randomly met an individual from the House of Lords, Baroness. She's called Miss Sheila Lawless. I don't think she'll mind me saying her name, but she's actually trying to work on AI regulation and trying to inhibit the big push for AI regulation that's coming in the UK, it seems, following the kind of EU regulation that's emerged. And she was very keen on kind of me coming to one of her events in the Parliament. I think it was just maybe a simple discussion or these sorts of things. But example one of just one conversation can lead to a very, very interesting event in your life. And with me having more free time than ever, I think this is the best time for me to try and enter those sorts of conversations with people who would, potentially change my life. And I think the fortunate scenario now that I have with the opportunity to go and play badminton, football, go gym with Jay at St. John's, there's tons of interesting people I can meet just within Cambridge. But luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of friends where I can travel around and meet new people. And I think the travels that is to come will be a great example of that. I think I'll be able to meet some very interesting people who may, make a very big impact on my life. And just worst case, learning different cultures, just getting a different perspective on life is definitely the worst case outcome that comes from the travels. I will always be searching for a potential business model that brings value to the community it's in for a beanie. I hope that we all go through downs. Look, this is a clear down, but I promise you in a year's time we're going to be back on the up. Maybe even shorter than that, I hope. But just keep going, no matter what. Come on, we got this.
Okay, I've had enough. You saw probably the previous clip which suggested why massive pauses occurred. And yeah, maybe that was a bit of a demotivating factor. When I say demotivating, it's not like I was completely and utterly, lifeless. I was able to, enjoy, go do fitness, do all these sorts of things, go visit Bristol more, go to London a few times. And I may have been upskilling like fitness-wise, strength-wise, maybe even enjoyment-wise. But when it comes to actually upskilling myself in the areas that could become a business model, I just haven't been pursuing. Well, directly, indirectly, the others could affect, the business model in the future. But directly, I think these sort of skill sets, the coding, the actual deployment of the website, the actual marketing of the website, the YouTube channel itself, and then even pursuing other avenues of content will be really good direct ways of growing my kind of skill set that a potential business model in the future can adopt. So yeah, that was a long-winded way of saying my focus has been severely lacking in that endeavor. Just sitting in bed, watching YouTube, watching movies, even playing this game called fucking RuneScape. That's how bored I got over this kind of period. So it's been a bad kind of 2 weeks, but it's not over till you really say it's over. So I'm back, and it's just time to work again. It's time to, even if the pursuits I'm going down right now, which are more MVP focused, and just kind of focused at upskilling my LLM coding capabilities, and making the MVPs way more AI ML focused, so that I think the route that I've explained in the previous clip about going through startups, these sorts of things, will be more achievable. But I'm hoping each day I just do something that is really growing myself, rather than just, growing myself in the skills that could directly benefit the business model. I really do appreciate the ability to play a lot of badminton, go to the gym, do all these sorts of things. But I do think in the time that I can work, I should work. And that's just the thing that has been lacking. And I'm going to keep you updated back on this, because if there's no videos, that does mean that I'm not really doing anything. So it's a clear indication of when I'm not focused during my work, that's when these videos won't appear. But when I am focused and actually producing something, it's something that's worthy of going on here. But maybe I should make it more apparent and more recordings of when I'm not, because that will force me to actually work. Because I do have a bit of an ego. I don't want to be, on this doing nothing and just being a bot, just exposing myself to the world. But that'll be a real way of just putting that fire under my arse. But yeah, I've got some exciting stuff in my head. It's just, will they come into reality? The actions speak way louder than words. So we're back. Time to fucking actually make some videos, make some content, make some actual progress towards the direct skills that can benefit my future business models. In a bit.
I've just had a real think about why I haven't been uploading. Was it pure laziness? Was it just a lack of direction, feeling lost? Or was it a kind of fear of failure, like uploading something where you don't really have something going, and not knowing where my next video could be, if the video could ever be there, or what my next week would really look like? I think that actually played a big part, and that really dawned on me, because I'm gonna be honest, if the videos aren't coming up, there's most likely no innovation or progress going on for Avini. That reality really dawned on me, and I really do care about Avini, because I want to be a unique individual. I want to be a great individual. I want to inspire. All of the above are really important to me, and thus this channel, Avini Business, is a really important part of my life and my journey. Although outside of it, I definitely had a great time during the weeks that aren't recorded on this channel. I do think Avini is going to be a very important part of my life that I can't avoid. And if these videos aren't coming out, that does mean I'm making no progress in that avenue. And for me, that's a very important part of it. So I've realized I've got to come back, because I finally am progressing in Avini again. But I know that if I want to kind of truly make the best progress, I think the videos are the best way, because it's a proof to myself and a proof out there in the world that I am doing the work, and the work is coming. The two main things that I have going on currently right now is actually still with Buse. I think what we're trying to do now is actually progress our social media side more, to maybe re-intervene and come back to the Etsy, but for now, just progressing that social media side, which is a lot more intriguing actually, because we've run social medias before, but for gimmicky products or other dropshipping reasons. Nothing really about an individual who has a talent or skill who can really create kind of enticing videos, organic videos. So this is quite a cool opportunity, and just we'll see where it goes. But the one that really kind of excites me more, which goes quite well with the explanation, and we'll see how it goes. And what's so interesting about it is this uses a technology called Filecoin and some other tools that are built by the lab above it called Protocol Labs. And it's mainly focused on decentralized storage and using that to make when users input data more trustworthy, and of course decentralizing it, the whole process, as no one individual can own all of the storage. And yeah, I think it's quite a cool technology. And what's the most interesting thing to me is that you really do have to build a decent project, right? So this could really spin into an MVP, because what companies don't need storage? All of them do. Whether they've heard of decentralized storage before, no. And decentralized storage is probably going to become a new thing in the coming years, especially with the AI boom, because just the amount of trading data that needs to be stored, and if it's stored on one individual server, not many people are going to like that. If the data is stored across multiple servers owned by different individuals, I think it'll be a lot more appealing to everyone involved. So I think decentralized storage will become an interesting, you just have to pick the right industry. I'll think about that more across this 4-week process, but I've always had a play around, and what I'm integrating it to is the sign language detection model from a long time ago. I'll explain that in a little bit with some progress, but yeah, I think that's where we're at currently, and I'm going to get to editing now and actually upload this. Oof, we're back on the journey. Come on.